Good to see
Yeah,
you.
thank you. So I have just one question that popped up in my head the other day. You know how
Okay.
people always say that belly fat is due to maybe hormonal imbalance, like cortisol, and especially one that you've had for the longest time. I was
Yeah.
just thinking that you would be in a position to answer this question. If the cause of the belly fat is hormonal due to cortisol or whatever, how exactly does doing a reduction or a liposuction change that? Because then I'm thinking if the problem is hormonal and you take out the fat, then it would come back, right? Yeah, that
Very
was what
good
I
question.
planned to be on.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for that question. A lot of people try to get, one solution to, one solution to every problem, and that's not true. Or one cause for every problem. That is not true. Saying that every fat is because of hormones is completely not true. There are most fat accumulations are either hereditary or having to do with people's lifestyle. Over 90% of the cases, that's the situation. Now, the issue of hormones come in when people maybe are on particular medications, or maybe they really have hormonal problems, as you talked about. That could contribute, but that in isolation cannot be responsible for that accumulation of fat. There's always a second factor or a tertiary factor that is contributing to all this stuff. Now, coming to, if you remove the fat, would it come back? Would it not come back? The truth is that liposuction, the beauty of liposuction, as compared to fat freezing or all these other things, is that there's actually a removal of fat cells. So from childhood, you have a number of fat cells that have been allocated to you. If you had 1 million fat cells, they don't get to 2 million. No, they don't. They don't get to 3 million. No. What happens is that they only increase in size. A fat cell can double or even triple or quadruple itself. So those 1 million cells only get bigger. So the beauty of liposuction is that when you do a liposuction, if there are 1 million cells, maybe if you remove 700,000, there are just remaining 300,000. So it is more difficult for those 300 cells to get bigger and take the space that 1 million cells were taking. Having said that, it is not impossible for those 300,000 cells to be fed very well and they grow back and take over the position of the others. Yeah, it's very possible, but it's very hard. So people who have liposuction, when they add fat, they don't add fat in those areas that it was taken away. Most times the fat will go to areas that they did not take out fat from, which is why I always insist on doing liposuction of the arms. So for those of you that have done consultation, I always say, let's do